Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a video episode of Friends Next Door. Now, if you're not watching a video and it's a regular podcast, then sorry, but we are attempting to record this. If this video does not make it into the interwebs, we will have little clips. But welcome back to Season 3 of Friends Next Door. Woo woo! We all took a little break. Kwan can't be here for a while, but we'll welcome her back when she comes back. So it's just the three of us, the OGs.
Yep.
The OGs.
Yep.
For those of you that just found our podcast, I'm Dan.
I'm Mia.
I'm Thomas.
And we are Friends Next Door.
We're doing great, Dan.
We're doing great.
Yeah.
Season 3 is off without a hitch.
Yes.
The video's throwing me off a little bit.
Me too.
We're
I'm
like,
where do I look?
yeah, we're like
What
doing
if, what if we just ignore the camera?
Also, the
And
fact
should,
that we are
actually.
all
Yeah.
here in the same place, guys.
Let's
and
give
no
props.
Zoom link. Like,
no
what is
Zoom
this?
link. This is like pre-COVID. We're
Yeah.
going to try to do this. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden we have to do it remote, which is actually pretty fun and
Yeah,
convenient.
it is. It is. It's a lot easier to go back and forth,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, except we were much more prepared before. Like, I somehow lost my mic stand. So
Yeah.
now I'm like the MC of this event now.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
you
and
host.
also before we had like our laptops open where you
True.
want to look something up, and now I'm like naked.
Not really.
You can just see my hands.
We don't want to picture that.
I don't know.
No,
what to
but
do
like,
with my hands.
okay, when we have our computer,
Yeah.
sometimes we would have notes.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we'd be so
Yeah,
prepared.
because we prepare for you guys.
Yeah.
And now we're like.
Shooting from the hips.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, so what are we talking about today?
So today we are talking about idolizing, idol worship.
Oh,
Namely, the whole topic, of course you grow up and you idolize people, whether it's an athlete or a musician or somebody in real life. And, there's a lot of that going around, especially today when you have influencers who you might idolize, not just, people you learn. When I was growing up, it's like somebody that you read about, like Martin Luther King, for example, or George Washington, or these historical figures, or, Buddha or Jesus Christ or Lao Tzu, and now it's just gotten to the point where it seems like anybody, we would just want to talk about it because I think, as adults, we still I still idolize people.
Is it adults or
Adults? Oh, adults. I say adults.
Data or data?
I say data.
potato. Okay,
Nobody
sorry.
says potato.
So we just wanted to talk about it, because it's getting, I think it's getting crazy these days because now with new apps and everything coming out, anybody can become an idol. And, we still idolize people. So we just want to talk about it. I can go first. When I grew up watching Tom Brady. Right, I grew up.
Wait, how sad are you now that he's retired?
I'm actually a little sad. Like, it's weird to say, okay, so for example, when we used to do Off the Great Wall, we might have been idols to young kids, right? Because they come up to us and they're like, wow, I watched you. I've had people come up in their 20s and they say to me, I watched you when I was like 14. Or I watched you when I was 8 and now I'm in high school. And to me, that's like shocking because you consider me somebody like a role model, right? Or an idol. And then meanwhile, I'm like, oh, there's my idols. Like I don't idolize a lot of people. I have people in my life that I look up to. So those are like what I equate as idols, like my uncle. I have a friend, a close friend who's older, who's like a very good business person that I look up to.
Yeah.
And then my colleague who hired me to join his real estate team, who I look up to. So I don't look up to a lot of people. So my public person that I grew up looking up to or idolizing was Tom Brady. And it's, for a lot of, some people are like, that's weird. No, I grew up playing sports. So I looked up to anybody who was a sports figure because I loved playing sports.
Would you go crazy if you met Tom Brady on the streets? Like, how would you react?
So I was at a restaurant that he was at. I've met a lot of movie stars. I've met a lot of people. I've interviewed movie stars. I never get starstruck. Like, I don't care. If I see somebody on the street, I've seen tons of stars on the street. I just saw.
Come on, we're talking about Tom Brady.
Yeah. So I saw him at a restaurant with Yi when we first started dating, and I literally was like, "How if you saw BTS?" I was like, Hun. And he and I just met, so she has no idea who Tom Brady is. And we were at ABC Kitchen because he really liked ABC Kitchen. He was with 2 other people. And I didn't go over or anything because I didn't want to accost him, but I was definitely
fanboying.
Oh my God, is he sitting right there?
Were you stealing like glances?
Yeah, because I was, I literally, because you have to understand, I grew up, football was my favorite sport.
Yeah.
And I grew up watching him succeed. It's like if somebody grew up with Harry Potter or grew up watching Michael Jordan. Yeah. I grew up watching him, and also a story of being an underdog and not, being selected super late and overcoming a lot of odds. To me, that resonated, so I definitely, like, when news of him retiring came out, I was like, oh man, it's like a piece of my life is now ending. Because like for 21 years, it was like, turn on the TV, there's Tom Brady.
True.
Like, it's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wasn't like, sad, but I'm definitely, I'm going to miss watching him,
Is there, is Tom Brady the only person that you idolize? Like, is there anybody else that you love
from a public standpoint? No.
Yeah, we're not talking about the people that you actually know in real life.
Because I never idolized or looked up to Michael Jordan or Kobe because I had I have different standards. Like I don't just like somebody who succeeds in their craft, which obviously like a lot of players do. And I don't know Tom Brady in real life, but it seemed like he's one of the most genuine, clean, like he's never been involved in controversy, whereas Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant have.
Yeah.
LeBron hasn't really, but I didn't grow up watching. I wasn't a LeBron fan.
I think he has a good PR agency, that's all.
Yeah. But any report of Tom Brady you hear about is like he's very genuine and he's like, takes care of people, and so to me that's what I liked about him, was that he was also a stand-up person. Yeah. Anybody else, I could not care less. Like Steph Curry, like he might be a cool dude, but I don't really care. I'm not really into
Do you idolize Steph Curry?
I mean, you know how there's a giant Steph Curry head next to my home office, right? Yeah. So what can I say?
I mean, as far as I can tell, I feel like Tom Brady is like the only public figure that you truly like idolize and low-key obsess over.
Yeah, because you guys never hear me talk about anybody else. No movie stars.
Exactly.
I mean, I like Keanu Reeves.
Right.
But it's a different type of.
But you don't go like fanboying over Keanu Reeves when.
I did. I met him in real life.
Oh.
I almost dropped something on his lap because I was managing a restaurant. I guess Keanu Reeves is the only other person in the movie field that I would like.
Okay. And he also
he's another stand-up guy.
Yeah,
exactly.
He also seemed like a good dude too.
You see the theme here. Yeah.
I think you have a very level-headed approach to this whole fanboy culture.
Yeah,
and
fangirl culture. Also, I would say that like only like Tom Brady and Keanu kind of fit the idolization, because I mean, to me, idolization is more of someone that's public that you kind of obsess over or like really look up to, rather than just like your peers. I know like people will say like, oh, like their mom or their dads are their idols, but I don't really count it like that, because you don't really obsess over them.
That's right.
Like especially if you look at idol culture or like celebrity worship here or idol culture in Asia, it's just like it's not the same as someone that's more relatable and close to you.
Yeah. I would say I have a very different approach to it, whereas like Mia, like if you want to talk about your idols,
Steph Curry,
BTS,
how you follow them and why you follow them, and like if you've ever been completely awestruck by them.
I'm just picturing that in my head.
Like because there are some stars that you will never even have it. Like there's no way, Miam, that you're gonna get close to BTS.
Why not?
Like. Because they are so protected.
Yeah. That's the thing. I was going to bring up just idol culture in Asia versus here.
Yeah.
And how they're so different, right? Because like here, I feel like, especially because you live in New York, so you can just run into some random celebrities on random places. Or
LA, like if you just see somebody on the street.
Right. And you don't care as much. Yeah. And you see like how, for example, Justin Bieber, the ultimate heartthrob, right? And he can date freely, and his fans will be fine.
Right. Oh yeah.
But then in Asia, if like BTS started dating, or if people found out about them dating,
right, or anyone of that echelon, like Blackpink,
yeah,
BTS,
yeah,
whatever, Twice.
Twice. Yeah,
Twice?
Twice.
Is that a band?
Yes, it
Is
is a
it?
band.
Okay,
It
right.
is
You
a
know what
band.
I mean.
Twice. Yeah.
Triple? Thrice?
the big, really famous one with G-Dragon. What's
Big
that
Bang?
one? Big Bang.
Oh, they're past that point, but
yeah. But I mean, the level of idolization is like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, actually, if you bring that up, that's kind of interesting because like the contrast is like in the U.S. we sell celebrity gossip versus there it's like they try to sell celebrity appeal. So like they maintain that image so that they can still sell the innocence and purity of the person. Like
and also the idea of like somehow fans have a chance to like date
still
them.
attainable.
Yeah.
It's weird because I think in America you rip on them any chance you get because it feels like they're more relatable and like more not as like a crazy person that's like untouchable. But in Asia, it seems like they want this perfect picture of this idol, so in order to keep selling whatever it is that they are promoting.
Yeah. Did we watch Tokyo Idols together?
I did not watch that.
I think we watched it together.
Yeah.
What is
we
that?
watched it. So it's about this. So in Japan, they have this like underground idol culture. Well, they have like the more mainstream and public ones, but also underground ones. Yeah. And it's just like it's basically just really young girls performing, like singing,
I've
dancing.
seen of it and I heard of it. Yeah.
The thing is, it's like the fans are like middle-aged men, and it's just like really creepy how much they obsess over these girls.
They're super young.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with like the more mainstream ones too. So I remember going to Japan like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was in the shop, and they would just sell like little photos of the idols on cards. I actually saw two sumos just in like regular wear and just like picking out cards, and it's just like it's like a normal thing to them.
Yeah,
but it's just like it's completely different than idol or like celebrity worship here.
I mean, CDs are still selling out really well in Asia.
Oh, true.
Like physical albums,
like compact discs.
Yeah. But then the thing is,
really, they still have CD players.
No, the thing is that you don't buy
CD
them
ROMs
for the music, like you buy them for
like
the
collection.
merch.
Yeah.
Because they package it with like something else, like photo cards or additional stuff.
So Thomas, do you have any idols? Because I feel like you don't.
Overall, wait, what were we gonna say?
No, I was gonna say you guys are well too
like on
level-headed for this whole idol culture.
Yeah, so I don't think I really obsess over anyone, but I do. I kind of like there are traits that I do admire, and I fully understand that certain celebrities aren't great people. They're good at specific things, and and you kind of like trying to get that mentality. So specifically, I actually grew up really into Michael Jordan. Yeah. And so much that I like bought one of his as a kid. I think I got like one of his biographies and just like reading his journey.
But that's normal, right? A lot of kids grow up.
Exactly. And then also under like getting to know more about how he got to where he is, and also Kobe Bryant as well, the closest thing to MJ, right? Right. And then it was just like the one thing that I could really relate to Kobe was his obsession over things and obsessing over details and stuff like that, right? So for him, it was just like he had a quote, it was like, "Oh, obsession is natural, and you just have to like kind of go with it." Right. And I was like, "Oh, that speaks to me. I naturally obsess over things, for better or worse." Right. But it's just like you lean into that basically, and so that's what I kind of looked up to.
What about a celebrity that you just find cute? Because like I want to speak for the fangirls over here. Yeah.
I would say like you. I mean, growing up, obviously there were female movie stars or musicians that I found attractive, but there's no way I like idolized them or even bought. Like at least for me as a guy, I don't go to I'm not a concert person.
You're not a concert person.
I love music. I hate concerts.
But like music sounds better when you listen to it live.
No, actually for me it's the opposite. I can't hear anything because it's loud. People are yelling in my ear. I mean, I've been to concerts. Like I don't like American concerts. Actually, the only concert I've ever liked.
What do you mean by What do you mean?
American, Western artists. Like the only concert I actually enjoyed was BTS.
BTS.
Oh,
because it was a different vibe and energy.
Okay.
Like, I've been to Western concerts and I thought they were extremely boring.
Okay.
That's why. So I don't go to them. I just listen to it at home.
But it's still different.
No, I agree with you, and obviously there's millions of people that go to concerts and spend tons of money to go to them.
I love it.
I just never did.
Yeah.
And also, I never idolized any musicians,
Yeah.
even though I love music, because I just don't find them inspiring to me. Because to me, like, music is, a lot of it's fake. You know, and people will say like, well, no, that person wrote this song, da da da. I'm like, how do you know that? Were you there when he wrote it? Oh, you read it in a biography.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Because music is so subjective to me, right?
Yeah.
A song about love could to you mean something else.
Yeah.
So
also, it's very manufactured.
Exactly.
Once a lot of the recording labels figure out, you know, the patterns that people latch onto, they like just keep cranking it up, which is why a lot of things you hear is kind of similar. And the same thing for movies too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I never, you know, idolize a movie star. I mean, Keanu Reeves, because it's like his whole, to me, like, he's very like I read all these things about how he's a genuine person.
Yeah.
So, and I love all his movies. So I'm like, okay, I really like that guy. But other than that, like, you know, I enjoy things with like you and Yi. Like, I like BTS. I like them. I don't obsess over them.
Yeah.
So when you guys made me try to follow their van and follow them to supposedly where their hotel was, I was literally like, are you guys children? Like, they're like, no, go. They're coming out. I'm like, so what if they come out? What are you going to do? So what? Are you going to chase them into their hotel room?
I'm going to tell you. Wait, did you know what happened?
No, I don't know about this, but I want to hear from Dan first. Tell me more, Dan. Where was
so
this?
After
when
the
was
BTS
this?
concert, we're driving back, and somehow you or me or somebody was like, I think that's their van. And then they're like, no, I read that they were staying at this hotel. Follow them. So I ended up like, they're like, step on it. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get arrested. I'm following maybe a van with maybe BTS in it. So I circle around the block.
God.
We see it pull out. People start coming out, and they're like, and I'm like, they're not in there. They're not in there. But wait, are they in there? And we're like, no, they're not. But it's like that level of like craziness that came over you and Yi and other girls that were in their car. I was just like,
were there other girls in the car?
I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure there were some other people in there. I was like, guys, like, I'm done. The concert was great. I want to go home. I don't want to extend this fandom into. And then the other part where I'm like, yeah, let's say they came out. Like, what do you do then? Do you scream? Are you gonna tackle them?
No, you
tackle.
fight to the front.
Tackle.
You're gonna tackle them. You will make it one step, and their bodyguard will just like, you know, like.
No, I'll
grab,
be fast.
Like, no, listen, fangirls are.
I don't know what we're gonna do if they actually came out of the car, but it was just.
Yeah. Imagine if they said hello to you. You'd be like,
no.
Fangirls are terrifying. Like, actually,
yeah.
I went to a Wonley Home concert in 2008 around Christmas time.
Yeah.
I was at the same concert.
That's
yeah.
And I think in the second half of the concert, people just like ran to the front of the stage. They like cleared out. It was just like stand-up room or whatever. Yeah. Oh my God! Like the girls were like, it was like rabid hordes basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's
they
what
all
I never,
went up like close.
Oh yeah,
to the
that's what I never
Oh, yeah.
understood, because like growing up, I would watch, you know, like when you watch a Michael Jackson concert, you see people fainting. And I'm like, I would never.
Why?
How would this happen to me? Like,
Yeah,
this would never happen to me. And
heat stroke.
Yeah, even if I saw my, you know, people that I look up to, my idols, I'd be like, oh hey, oh my God, I'd be like, this is cool. Wow, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then I go about my life.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah, I feel the same, because it's like, it's just like, oh hey, cool, I saw this person.
Yeah.
Because like one time I used to work near Chelsea Piers. Yeah. And I saw Casey Neistat running by.
Oh cool.
I was just like, oh hey, and then he just kept running. Like he said hello back and just kept running. That was it.
Yeah, and like I realized, you know, there's plenty of people that I grew up in Boston. There's plenty of men and children that completely idolize whoever their childhood stars were, and that's fine. And you buy their merchandise and you really look up to them. But you know, when like so again, this Tom Brady, because here's what happened, right? He retired and he did not mention any Patriots fans in his retirement Instagram post, and it became a thing. And I'm like, I don't care.
As in they're mad.
And he mentioned the Bucks fans?
Like, yes, he did. But I'm like, you know, if you let something affect you to the point that you feel like hurt when this other person who has nothing to do with you,
Yeah.
yes, you devoted a lot of time to watch them and buy stuff that they were selling and whatever, and then you felt hurt because they didn't mention you in a Instagram post. It's like, what kind of reality is this? Like, really? You know, and most people will be like, well, Dan, you did. Well, I'm just speaking
You're
for
way
myself.
too rational
Yeah.
for this whole thing because
just speaking for myself, you know,
like okay, in terms of musicians, right? Like you said that they don't inspire, but a lot of people get inspired by music,
100%,
songs, and they feel like the lyrics speak to them. And I know you said it might mean different things, but
I'm very good at differentiating the lyrics and the feeling that I get from the person. Hence, I don't idolize a single musician because I don't know any. I don't want to. So this is my thing with idolization, right? Is you are obsessed with someone to a degree that you think they could do no wrong.
Yeah,
and that's
when
so
it becomes
dangerous in
problematic.
many ways because one, you're personally affected if they do something wrong. Like for example, in Asia, when these guys from Big Bang were like, you know, accused of sexual harassment or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh my god, I thought that guy was. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure he wasn't you just didn't know about it.
Exactly. I mean, it was like the same thing with, remember when we watched the R. Kelly documentary?
Yeah.
And it was like outside the courtroom, and it was just still all these like fangirls out there. It's like, you know, that they still loved him.
Or even like Michael Jackson growing up. Like, he was the biggest star ever, ever maybe. And, there's a million, you could, obviously, we don't even need to mention the controversy that surrounded, or Bill Cosby, or all these, so to me, it's like, I'm jaded in that I'm like, listen, people, they have secrets. You have no idea. So take what they do, their body of work,
the
and
craft.
If it's take the craft and how they approach it as inspiration.
Yeah, separate it.
Don't let yourself be moved by them as a person.
Yeah,
which is impossible to do for most people.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's why I always, you look at your people that's closest to you. Like I always look to them for advice and look up to them because they're real people.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is people aren't perfect, and if you put so much expectations, you're going to get disappointed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
this whole thing actually started from, remember that startup guy?
Oh, yeah, what happened to him? The show Startup on Netflix.
The show, like the K-drama Startup.
Yeah.
And the actor, one of the main actor, he got really famous from Startup, right? Anyway, so like he got into this scandal because as his popularity just started skyrocketing.
Yeah.
There's a girl who posted something on Naver or something, which is like the community board or whatever in Korea, that basically spills his like dirty laundry because the girl turns out to be his ex-girlfriend and he got pregnant and then he had to like went through abortion, blah blah. So because of that, right, everybody was just like, oh, then he got canceled immediately. But like everybody was like so disappointed, even though later on it was, I guess they found out that it's like she had some problems too, so it might not be like his kid, like it's just messy.
Wow.
Yeah, but like towards the end, his name was already
tarnished.
He like his reputation was already tarnished, and basically his career kind of
tanks.
Ended. Well, maybe tank like
is
paused for a little bit.
Is he like on a blacklist right now? Essentially,
he was immediately like removed from this variety show that he was a part of, and his. A couple of his movies were canceled. His projects basically got canceled. His endorsements were also canceled. Things like that. So it was the impact was real.
That's crazy.
Are there celebrities? So even though I don't idolize a lot of movie stars, there's definitely people's work. I'm not saying you can't like people's personality, or I mean, if Tom Cruise came out with the movie and he's known, there's a lot of controversy with Tom Cruise, I would go watch it because I like his movies.
Yeah.
But I distance myself to be like, okay, I'm not going to hold him accountable for anything because it's my choice to go see the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there a case where it's like, where to the point where you can't separate the person from the art? Because to me, there is. Okay, so for example, if, there's only a certain level of controversy that Tom Cruise has been involved in, like around Scientology and whatever, right? But what if he was like more like let's say if he was involved in something like Sungri, like
Okay.
like the
Like a
sex ring kind
scandal
of
or
thing. Yeah,
something,
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Whereas just like he's just a completely
Wait, are you asking if there's
like if you can
degrees
still
of scandal or what do
yeah,
you-
it's like what is the tolerance for it right now? Because like what you're saying is like oh you're so cool with him up until Scientology stuff, right? Because
Like
there
you
hasn't been
separate
anything
Tom
explicit.
Cruise.
I
about
would
it.
say that's the line for me.
Okay, so like anything beyond that kind of deal.
Well-
Because like a lot of folks,
Yeah.
like Bill Cosby, for example.
Yeah.
You can't. It's harder to look at his work knowing what he's done now. Right?
Yeah.
Like he's gone over the line, and same thing for Kevin Spacey, for example, right? And like a lot of the
Yeah,
other
which is a
Hollywood stars.
bummer because I loved a lot of
He's a
Kevin
great
Spacey movies,
actor, right? He's a great actor.
Yeah.
So it's like there is a thing where it's just like how much can you separate the art from
So, and that's personal. So for me, I can 100% compartmentalize.
yeah.
So if I watch a Kevin Spacey movie, I watch it because his performance, he's a really good actor, or
Yeah.
the body, like whole movie, like some of my favorite movies, he's one of the characters.
Yeah.
And it's tough knowing what he did, but I'm going to look at the art as the art, and usually there's a reason I'm watching it, if I'm like it or if I'm inspired by the whole work.
Yeah.
It's tough, but there's still movies of his that, I really, really like. So like Glenn Ross, he's a small character in there, or American Beauty, whatever, like Horrible Bosses, like stupid movies too. Like I like everything.
Right.
So I can do it. I don't know if other people can do it.
Like
That is actually a good question. I'm like thinking about it right now. I
and
don't
it's
know.
same thing for music, right?
Yeah.
Like how much, like R. Kelly, for example, or Chris Brown, right?
Yeah.
But lucky for me, I never loved like Chris Brown's music.
Oh, same.
Or Michael. I like Michael Jackson's music, but I was never like crazy
Obsessed.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Like, what if Tom Brady turned out to be a jerk kind of thing?
Or like a psychopath.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably already one in a
Or like
different way.
Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves is probably
yeah,
not a
then
stand-up.
then
I don't know.
I think I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
Will
and
you
then,
continue watching this movie, or will you be like, I can't
Reeves?
watch this movie? Like, I can't
Yeah, I don't know. It's
see
a
him
good
the same
question.
way.
It's a good question because like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't crossed. I don't idolize a lot of people.
Right.
The people that I would idolize, they're all dead. Like, sorry, so I don't know if I met them. I as you guys know, I love photography. I love acting.
Yeah.
Shakespeare, like he's dead. I love Shakespeare plays. How I don't idolize Shakespeare.
I mean, you guys never existed in the same world in the first place.
My favorite photographer, Ansel Adams, has been dead for a long time.
Yeah.
I would. It's not so much I would like lose my mind if I met them. I would love to sit down and pick their brain.
Oh yeah.
So it's that kind of or Mozart or Beethoven, right?
Yeah.
Some of my favorite classical composers.
Mm-hmm.
These it's like that's like a different idolizing.
Yeah.
I would say, right? Like
Yeah.
some of these people that created amazing works that have stood the test of time. I would definitely idolize them, but not in the way that we think of like movie stars now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I also asked this because it can get really complicated, and like for me, it actually impacts me in how I can enjoy some of the content. So like for movies, if I know there's like this narrative or message being pushed, where it's like just kind of really in your face about it, it really takes me out of it
For sure.
And also just on an individual, like for celebrities. So for example, I'm a huge fan of like classical opera.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of Pavarotti.
Mm-hmm.
But for Pavarotti, back in the day when he was still around, he actually performed in front of the Chinese Communist Party.
Oh, yeah.
So he actually did a
right.
performance for them.
Right.
So it's like, how do I balance that too?
It's
right?
hard to say because like maybe he had to.
Yes, that's also true.
Right? It's
exactly.
Not, maybe that's not something that he could have even avoided.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
so for me, it's just like until I know more about that situation, it's still trying to separate the art from the person.
Yeah.
to some
And we're not
degree.
here to tell people who to idolize
yeah.
and who to not because it's so personal to you.
Exactly.
It's just interesting why do we follow people? It's like I was just thinking about the other day. It's like why do we even follow people, period?
Yeah.
Like I was like, why do we even like sports? Because I'm not playing football. I'm not.
Do you
I don't
want to be like them? Like
it's weird because like we just watched the Super Bowl, right? And I'm just like, oh, my team's not in it.
Yeah.
Why do I even have a team? Like, why is it that we feel good when something that's not even related to us
Yeah.
are victorious.
Speaking of that, like that's the whole thing about this whole fandom thing, right?
But yet it does.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Like the fans feel really good when, let's say, BTS wins certain awards, and you know they actually work hard to like vote them in, right?
And they like, feel like it's like
make
a part,
them win.
like they're like,
it's a part of their own. Like they take it so
weird.
personally. Like this is also my win,
right? Yeah.
You know.
I think it's just like people just having a habit of attaching their identity to things.
Yes,
right.
Definitely.
And well, especially it made more sense back in the day when the cities were less similar. Right, like Boston, Philly, they had very distinct characteristics and character to them, right? So the people that are grinded out of Boston, for example, or out of New York City, New York, right? So that feeds into what kind of team you can produce as well, right? So it was just like, then you can really feel that the team was really repping the city. But like these days, where the players are traded around so much, they're just like a piece to it. It's like there's no indication of how related they are to the city to some degree. Right.
But I think regardless, I think it is at the end of the day is a sense of belonging to something.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Because that's why this is more pronounced in Asia, because they like really cultivate the fan clubs. There's actual fan club that you can be a part of.
It's really creepy.
Yeah, and they organize like group activity, and so you are participating in something, and like there's a group that you belong to.
I guess I'm kind of dead in that, like no piece of pop music has ever moved me, if that makes sense. Like once in a while I'm like, oh, if a particular song was playing and you were watching a movie, maybe you're moved, but like I guess I'm not moved, so therefore, if I see an artist, I'm like, I'll listen to. I listen to music to pump me up. Like if I'm sad, I don't tend to listen to music, and I totally get that a lot of people, they relate to the lyrics and they relate to the music
and even to the feel of the song.
For sure, yeah,
to the vibe.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go. Okay, let me backtrack. There has been times where there's specific songs that have, like, in that moment I felt something.
Yeah.
But it's in a vacuum. So I'm not like, because I felt this, that person, now I follow them and I idolize them.
But that person is the person who like sings the song.
And I get it. So like most people are like, oh, because you sang it, I'm gonna attach my fandom to you because you helped me through something. I just don't operate like that.
That stops there for you, basically.
But for most people, it's like a way, to attach yourself, to connect. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think today, like, I don't care if, I think, it's normal to follow music stars. I think it's crazy when people follow social media stars.
Oh, yeah, that is the weirdest
thing.
thing.
That's where I'm like,
that's the weirdest thing.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's actually easier than ever now. And I would say, like, social media stars have more fandom than movie stars now.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like a formula.
Because even movie stars open their own social media accounts.
Yeah.
Because, like,
the more accessible.
Yeah.
The more relatable.
Because, like, I mean, I listen to one podcast every day, but I don't idolize. I'm a fan of these hosts.
Yeah.
They're my local sports hosts and they're funny or whatever, but there's no way I idolize them. If I saw them on the street, I'd be like, hey, I listen to you guys. Awesome. That's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I'm not going to be like, I'm a fan of you. Like, I don't know. I'm going to follow you guys everywhere.
I was going to say most of these people are young, so they're not at that place where you can think so rationally.
And that's,
What if we're just old and jaded? Like, we've been around long enough where it's just like, they're just people kind of.
And I always felt weird when people came up. Like when people came up and they're like, oh, I love the fact that people can take our content when we did Off the Great Wall and it helped and inspired them, because that's why we did it. I'm just always weirded out when they're like, people are like, oh, I like idolize you, or like I followed you guys mean a lot to me. I'm like, that's cool, but I hope that it's what
calm down,
do.
Bo.
That you're inspired by what I put out there and not by me.
Yeah.
Do you feel pressure when you're in that?
No, because I know myself. I'm a pretty stand-up guy. I'm a very passionate guy. I'm not the perfect guy. I get, I'm a pretty feisty guy. So it's not like I'm not like a good role model when it comes to like, being calm. But like I know I'm a good dude, so I'm not afraid of doing something that and if I make a mistake, like I'll fess up to it. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I don't have to hide anything.
Yeah. So what was it like for like when people came up to you guys when you were doing Off the Great Wall?
I mean, at first, it is flattering, and I do appreciate people spending their time to listen and appreciate what we did. So it was definitely great. But I don't like seek after the attention. I don't like it doesn't like prop me up. Like, oh, it's like, especially because social media is so weird because like you're actually making money off people, off the views. And I enjoy when we weren't making money off things because then
no pressure. You can do whatever you want.
You do whatever you want. You can listen. Like I have
what
a job.
we're doing now.
Like I can support myself fine. I don't need YouTube or
there's no strings basically.
Yeah, it's like my hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
And I care about it.
Exactly. Yeah,
I like that.
I mean, for me, there's a level of like pressure that I feel. I feel like that's self-imposed because I feel like the more attention you get, the better quality of the content that I need to put out, and like I just like start to like maybe think too much about the content that I'm gonna put out.
I definitely feel that because you want to live up to expectations. I think that's human nature. And also just like you want to strive to get better. Like each season we're actively trying to get better with our limited time. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
You know? That's a good thing to set for other people. Like we're not just like, look at me. Look at my food. Like,
I think what I really like about our current setup actually is that we're just kind of doing it for fun. We're not really trying to do it for fame, for money or anything like that. I mean, if you want to sponsor us, we're all in.
If this can make money, great.
Oh yeah, like like I got a bottle of hint water here right now.
Actually, you were not supposed to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
To mention anybody if they haven't. We have some
also,
flavored water.
This is why
I'll bleep that out later.
This thing is here.
So, have you guys had some fun celebrity encounters? Let's hear about them. Because I've got a lot of them.
You said I have something.
I mean, the only one I really remember is Casey and I sat.
Wait. So you haven't.
But you were too cool about it. Like, hey.
No. But here's the thing. I'm really terrible at recognizing faces.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So even if I saw them, I don't realize. Oh, actually, let me backtrack a little.
Yeah.
I don't fanboy over like music or actor celebrities.
You fanboy over Yuna.
No. Well, Yuna, but I'm not gonna see her.
Okay, so who?
But if she came to New York for a concert and she's
I
like
would go see it.
walking around K-Town.
But I will get excited if I see like a celebrity chef.
Okay, like who?
Like Dominique Hansel, for example.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Because I mean, he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of like a celebrity chef.
He is. He is a celebrity.
So like,
chef,
it would be cool to see him. Like I've gone.
Yeah, because you respect and idolize their craft.
Yes,
I could see that. Yeah, like if I guess because I came from the restaurant world and I met a lot of chefs, so to me it's like, oh, they're great.
Yeah,
but I could see that if you see someone that you respect their craft so much, I could totally see that.
Exactly. Exactly.
I feel like recently there were people that I was like, oh, if I saw them, I can't remember anymore because I've just like haven't just been like working.
But yeah, in general, I'm terrible at recognizing faces, so I'm just not gonna realize who it is.
Meanwhile, I'm really good at recognizing fans, like the vans, celebrity cars and vans.
Wait, so Miam, what are some of your celebrities like sighting
I don't
stories?
have that many. I don't have,
but the ones that you do.
The time that we were after that concert, you were there, and it wasn't even them.
No, we didn't see them.
It was their stuff.
It was the idea of them that we were trying to.
But also the thing is, he parked the car so close to their van.
Oh, like I have
right behind them.
Well, because I'm like, guys. All right, if you guys want to do something, let's do it right. So I went on full-on stalking mode. Like I'm like
he
behind
started
the van.
speeding through the streets of Manhattan.
Oh, I started driving crazy because I'm like, all right,
driving past.
I'm like, you guys want to do this?
Lights.
I go, you guys want to do this? Because I'm like, I do things 120%.
Yeah, that's a feisty side. That's a feisty side,
right? So I go, because what's the point if you're gonna get excited? So I started running red lights. I started like,
Okay,
I literally was like,
I see it.
chasing
He
them
went
like
berserk.
a stalker, pulling up right behind them,
Yeah.
and then
it was like right in front of the hotel entrance.
This is how funny. So I parked right in front of the van, waiting for people to come out of this van to see if it was BTS.
And then you feel so exposed because she was sitting in front.
So these girls were like, and I'm like, why are you
Oh my
hiding? No
God.
one knows who you are. They're like this.
Listen, if you want to obsess about something, you have to full ass it. You can't half ass it.
Yeah, I'm like, if you guys want to do this, let's go find them. In fact, I go, if they actually come out, y'all better go talk to them because I didn't like almost get arrested. So you guys are like screaming in my ear. Like, you guys better get out of the car, go up to them and ask for their autographs.
I can't believe you ran red lights for that.
And it's not even them, but it's their stuff, so it's okay.
I'm like,
I wasn't wrong.
I've ran into like Gordon Ramsay like 2-3 times when someone was like, hey, I'm a big fan of yours. He didn't care.
Yeah.
But I didn't care. Just, at that moment I was like,
Yeah, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah. Seeing a lot of like movie stars just on the street. Like, oh, hey, I feel like there's one recent time where I'm like, I feel like I saw Jonah Hill one day in like
That's
Lower
the thing,
Manhattan.
right? What is it about like Hollywood celebrities that feel just like,
yeah,
normal.
it is just
they
like,
are
especially
just like-
if we live in New York and LA and
yeah.
they're A-listers, but they're not like untouchable.
Yeah.
Like, Brad Pitt's like untouchable, right? You're never gonna see Brad Pitt. You're never gonna see Tom Cruise because they have an entourage. But like other like Bradley Cooper, you probably see him. Like
You're talking about Bradley Cooper as if he lived next door.
yeah, like a lot of these A-listers, like you see.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
you know?
Bradley Cooper voices a raccoon. He'll be fine.
Exactly. But like, there's certain untouchable guys that you will never see. I did see. I don't idolize the Beatles. I didn't grow up with their music. I saw Paul McCartney coming out of a car near the plaza one time, and I was just like, I have no shame. I just took out a camera. I was like, somebody's gonna like this. Yeah, it's Paul McCartney. All right, cool. And then that was it. I'm like, whatever. And then other people are like, oh my god, you saw. I'm like, yes. So what? So what? He's just a person.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the thing that for folks to realize, like, they're just people.
They're just people.
Yeah.
But
like
they're
you and
beautiful
me.
people.
Oh my god.
No, some of them are pretty old and sad.
Somebody
so.
has to speak for the fangirls out there.
That's right. That's right.
And that's me.
To be fair, you're probably better represented of
Yeah.
what things are actually like. Dan and I are underrepresented.
I mean, we just don't go all the way.
You and I are not like most fans because
Yeah.
we're fans of a lot of things, but we're not like
Obsessed.
obsessed.
Not
fans.
rabid. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good to just kind of remind yourself, like, to your point, they are just regular people
Yeah. Regular people
with flaws.
Yeah.
I almost like idolize a fictional character more than I would a real person. Like, for example, like, I don't know, say Batman, right? You're like, oh, I really love this character because of supposedly what he's gone through and all that, but not an actual person. You know?
Weird.
Anyways, yeah, I guess. I mean, are you guys have
Anything else?
anything else?
Any other
No.
celebrity encounters?
Who are you? Any idolizing person now that you?
No. I think it's just you live long enough and you're just disappointed by everyone. I think that's how it is.
Yep, pretty much.
Like, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, your actors, musicians, politicians, sports athletes.
Never idolize politicians.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. So, all right. Well, let us know, guys. What you thought of who your idols are, and why do you idolize someone, or maybe a cool story of maybe a person who actually that you met that was
Actually cool.
actually cool,
chill.
or changed your life in some way.
True.
I do think that there's famous people out there that change people's lives. I believe that.
Inspire.
You know. Even if you're inspired a little bit, like I don't, idolize a lot of people, but they've inspired me through their works.
Yeah.
I think that matter. That's something to be said about that.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, I know we're trying to end, but like, no, because like when you guys were doing Off the Great Wall, and actually even for some of the mail that we've gotten, it's like kind of like either inspiring or like thanking us for like getting through hard times or something like that. I'm telling you, we are great background noise, okay, for doing chores
and we
stuff.
appreciate that, and it keeps us going. Obviously,
exactly.
It's like you have to have some level of fandom
Yeah.
to make this all work. Otherwise, it's kind of weird, right? You're just talking to air.
Into the abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, it is nice to hear that feedback of that you're actually...
No, that's not my hair. I was like, is that my
All
hair?
right, it's time to wrap.
No.
We got hair.
Wait,
everywhere,
finish
so
your
it's time-
thought.
Oh,
You lost your train of thought.
yeah, it's just like, no, like, I think inspiration comes in all forms, you know?
That's all right, guys. All right, welcome back to our podcast. Hope the new year and everything that you guys been doing have been keeping busy, have been keeping your spirits high. We are back now, so stay with us.
You're gonna see or hear more of us in the future.
Oh, I have an inspirational person. This person we've been trying to get on our podcast, and they make
Dumplings.
See, I have some real life people that inspire me. I'm trying to get them on.
I thought you were going to say, as your wife as your inspiration.
She inspires me.
Okay.
She sometimes. I'm just kidding. Anyways. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Send us fan mail. Send us questions. Send us, this season we'd love to incorporate more of your responses and questions and all that.
True. You guys actually always inspire us
Yes.
to come up with our topics.
Give us good things to talk about.
Yes. Yeah. And please write us a good review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Wherever you listen to us. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.